No winners, just survivors. Harbinger Wars, Valiant's first crossover event, begins here. 24 undisciplined, untested, and untrained superhuman children have just escaped from a top-secret research facility and onto the Vegas Strip when Bloodshot, Toyo Harada, and the Harbinger Renegades join the chase. Will the Valiant Universe be ready for its first all-out superhuman showdown? What happens in Vegas may just destroy the Valiant Universe. Welcome everybody to another exciting episode, another edition of A Week in Geekdom here on YouTube. Happy New Year! It is the first ever video of A Week in Geekdom in 2017. I hope you had a wonderful New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, whatever you want to call it. Stay positive because I'm rooting for you. I know you can do it. And yeah, 2017, a brand new year to read, review, and do a bunch of cool stuff. Now you might remember back in 2016, a couple months ago as of this recording, I started my adventure into the Valiant Universe. I love the Valiant hardcover books. I have most of them right here. I love their series. It's so much fun. These guys put out quality material just like the rest of them, and they could use the promotion because apparently not a whole lot of people know about Valiant, and we are going to change that in 2017. Now, I reviewed Exo Man of War Volume 1, I reviewed Archer and Armstrong Volume 1, and I did review Bloodshot Volume 1. I skipped Harbinger for some reason, but now that we are in 2017, I want you to do me a favor. Pause this video, head on over to my friend Hardcover Reviews, and check out his review of Harbinger. He will get you up to speed on what you need to know about Harbinger, all these great characters, Peter and the gang, and everybody else. Who the heck is Toyo Harada? And just, yeah, just the amazing world of Harbinger. One of the best, I should say, the best of the Valiant catalog of books, in my honest opinion. So watch that video, and if you just did, welcome back, because today we are reviewing the follow-up to Harbinger, the first ever crossover in the Valiant Universe, as I read at the beginning of the video. Of course, I am talking about Harbinger Wars. Harbinger Wars is an amazing mini-series event. It is 4 issues long, but of course it's longer than that because it crosses over with the titles of Bloodshot and Harbinger. Now, I normally don't do reviews for event books per se because there's a lot to cover, and I just want to give you a spoiler-free review of it, and that's what I'm going to do because I actually want you to read it and then come back to me and tell me if you liked it or not. Harbinger Wars, of course, stars a bunch of characters, and we're going to go through them rather quickly. If you are up to speed with your Valiant, then yes, and if then you already know what this event is all about. But if you're brand new, like many others out there, then I'm going to get you up to speed. So what the heck are the Harbinger Wars? Obviously, it's a crossover between the 2 books into one epic confrontation. Basically, this is all about the Psyot children. We met them back in Bloodshot and Harbinger. These are gifted kids with crazy mutant-like powers. You know, they manifest almost always like telekinetic or telekinesis, that sort of power set. But there are some rare occasions where you see characters like Flamingo, which she has fire abilities, and then Torque, basically your Hulk in this story with super strength and all that stuff. So you do see characters that go outside the norm. Back in Bloodshot, we got introduced to Project Rising Sun, basically a private military organization, and it kind of does some shady work. Basically, they are trying to round up all the Psyots, and they are trying to either use them, or I should say weaponize them, or if they're too much trouble, we take them out, we get rid of them. On the other side, you got the Harbinger Foundation, led by Toyo Harada. Basically, Toyo is like the twisted version of Charles Xavier, in my opinion. Because yeah, Harbinger is a lot like X-Men, but you're wondering, Who the heck is Toyo Harada? A survivor of the bombing of Hiroshima, Toyo has used his extraordinary telepathic abilities to build the incredibly powerful Harada global conglomerate. With HGC as a front, Harada has created the Harbinger Foundation, where he can train and build his own private army of psiots that will help him carry out his vision for a better world. However, Harada will stop at nothing to see his dream come to pass. Harada wants Project Rising Sun Psiot children to join his ranks. Yes, if you left off with Bloodshot, then you know that at the end of that story, slight spoilers, Bloodshot rescues a whole bunch of kids. I think there were like 6 or 7 of them that go with him when they escape the secret Project Rising Sun base where they were being experimented on rather cruelly. Obviously, Bloodshot, if you don't know who he is a super weapon created by Project Rising Spirit, programmed to undertake incredibly dangerous missions, including capturing Psiot children. Once Bloodshot freed himself from his programming, he went rogue and liberated the children from the facility. Bloodshot feels he must protect the children from forces that would control them, since he is largely, if indirectly, responsible for capturing them in the first place. And that brings us to our final key of the puzzle in the Harbinger Wars, and I am talking about Peter Stanchak and his renegades. Peter is the protagonist of Harbinger, the first volume in this series. Peter Stanchak was once Toyo Harada's prized pupil before abandoning his would-be mentor and formed his own team of Psiot renegades. Together they have set out on their own, looking for others like themselves to oppose Harada and his Eggbreakers. Peter and the Renegades will do everything in their power to prevent the PRS Psiot children from winding up in the hands of Toyo Harada. So now we have our 3 main factions, and stuff is about to go down, and I don't want to really ruin the fun for you guys. I just want to talk about some stuff that I liked about this event. This is a pretty awesome world where all these characters are heavily flawed. This is a world where, you know, there are consequences to the stuff that these characters are doing. It's not a series of books where characters die and get resurrected later on, like say Marvel or DC, that are constantly reshuffling ideas and characters and all these legacy heroes and all that stuff. This Valiant Universe is fresh in that perspective. Now with the Harbinger stuff, I found it really appealing. Basically, at least the first 3 issues are reinterpreted or redone in Bloodshot and Harbinger. It's only like the last issue which really provides like that big epic finale. But overall, it was a little bit weird transitioning from all 3 books, because I would read something on Bloodshot and then I would read Harbinger 1 and it would kind of do the same thing but with a different art style. And that's one of the big pluses, by the way, of this series. The art is friggin' fantastic. I love it so much. I didn't mention it at the top of the video, but this is written by Joshua Desart, I hope I said that right, Dwayne Zorsinski, and drawn by Pere Perez and Clayton Henry. Holy crap, this art is amazing. Love this art so much. I love the writing. It was concise, it was awesome, and it read like an epic tale of all these factions just trying to survive in their own way. You've got Toyo manipulating everything behind the scenes because of Project Rising Sun. You do see Bloodshot, which is to me my favorite character out of the whole event, because I love the fact that he's basically an unkillable machine that can self-repair with nanites and all that stuff. And you start seeing things from his perspective and him trying to realize like, hey, I have these feelings as well. I don't necessarily want to kill everything in sight. I'm not what they said me out to be. Obviously, he's been reprogrammed so many times that he's forgotten his former past, even if he did have a former past. Now, with the character of Peter Stanchak, Peter is a really cool character. I love his determination. I love what he's trying to do. He wants to figure out how to take down the Harbinger Foundation for stuff that they did to him, which you're gonna have to read the book to find out. because I don't want to spoil it. Something very important with this event, and if you've read events from other comic book companies, you will know that there is an event fatigue. This doesn't happen right here. This is a solid story where you are intrigued and you're interested in these characters. I believe, and I'm getting into some spoiler territory here, not so much because I don't want to ruin it for you guys, but I believe it was the character of Faith that mentioned at the end of the book that you always expect a happy ending. You always expect things to go the right way, out with a huge bang and just a celebration at the end and all that stuff. But this isn't that type of story. This is a story where not everybody comes out at top. Even if they won, they still lost. So I thought that was really impactful for me because I was not expecting that type of finale, but I really appreciate it. So would I recommend Harbinger Wars? Hell freaking yes, this was amazing. So yeah, I really recommend it. I think you're gonna like it. It's fantastic. If you like this video, leave a comment down below, like this, view this, and just hit the notification bell if you can, so you're always up to date when new videos pop up. And yeah, just follow me on your favorite social media platform, from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Periscope. Just type a Week in Geekdom and I'm there for you guys. Alright, I gotta go. I got a ton of stuff to read, and I promised you guys my Tokyo Ghost Volume 2 review, which is coming right after this video, so stay tuned for that. Thank you once again. I love you guys. Have a great year, and I'm looking forward to catching you on our next installment. Thank you for tuning in to another installment. You can keep the conversation going through your favorite social media platform. You can like and subscribe to our YouTube page, follow us on Twitter, like our fan page on Facebook, and favorite our pics on Instagram. You can also write to us for feedback, suggestions, and such via aweekingeekdom@gmail.com. Until next time, Harbinger Wars. What?